Some places hold secrets, secrets better left undisturbed. We travel through the veil between worlds, where ghosts of the past refuse to stay buried. Prepare to witness firsthand the chilling evidence of the paranormal. The story of those who have encountered the other side and the unexplained phenomena that defy logic and reason. Are you ready to face the unknown? Welcome to Milkshakes and Ghosts.
Warning. 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 This episode contains mental illness, acts of violence, paranormal elements, and death. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome all of you supernatural seekers and sweet treat enthusiasts. You've tuned in to Milkshakes and Ghosts, a mother and daughter podcast where we blend the chilling with the delightful and explore the mysteries that go bump in the night. With the side of something cold and creamy, I'm Jessie.
And I'm Jenny. We're here to stir up some tales of the unexplained, from whispers in old houses to full-blown paranormal phenomena.
Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or just here for the good vibes and good stories, grab your favorite milkshake, whether it be chocolate, strawberry, or anything ghoulishly delicious, because things are about to get strange.
So settle in, dim the lights, and prepare for a hauntingly good time. This is Milkshakes and Ghosts, and we're just getting started.
Before we get started, I just want to give a big thank you to Jack for making our milkshakes today.
Yes, thank you so much, Jack. I'm glad you remembered to make me one this week since you only made Jessie one last week. That was messed up, by the way, but this makes up for it.
I'm just special.
You felt so left out last week. That wasn't right.
Okay, well, he didn't forget about you this time.
No, he sure didn't. I'm loving this milkshake that he made us. It's really good.
For all of you listening out there, who can't see what we're drinking? My mom and I are sipping on the chocolate peanut butter milkshake that our wonderful assistant, yes you Jack, made for us.
It's so good. We'll have Jack link the recipe in our show notes if anyone else wants to try it.
Alright, buckle up buttercups, because we're about to take you on a wild, terrifying ride into the depths of a case that's less about ghosts and more about the chilling reality of how life can unravel.
I hope all of you listening out there have a strong milkshake for this one. Today, we'll be discussing the girl who could move mountains. Or phones?
This story started with flying objects and ended, well, you'll see. This is the case of Tina Resch, and it's a doozy.
A doozy, girl, is an understatement. So, picture this. It's 1984, long before TikTok or YouTube, and a photo goes global. Not a cat video, not a viral dance, but a push-button phone caught mid-air hurtling across the lap of a surprised Columbus teenager.
I mean, come on, a phone?
It's not just any phone, girl. The phones back in my days weren't some sleek, pocket-sized marvel you scroll through with your thumb. It was a chunky phone with a cord at the end.
So you're saying it was an ancient relic from the dinosaur era?
That's messed up. Look, I'm not that old, okay?
You know, I haven't said this in a while, but 19?
Stop.
You're from the 1900s.
Stop. Anyways. The phones were ridiculous when I was growing up. If you wanted to make a call, you were literally tethered to what looked like a corded dog leash. It was with restricted movements, of course. I know all of you know what I'm talking about out there who's probably around my age. You know, when you were having a conversation, you literally were stationed with that cord that was connected to the phone and the wall jack.
How in the world did you get privacy when you were talking?
You didn't? You didn't at all. The cord you were connected to was like a flashing light saying, I'm on the phone and everyone can hear me. It was really embarrassing and hard to have those teenage conversations back in my days. You just couldn't.
That's crazy. Wow, Mom, you must be really old.
Stop. I'm not that old.
Okay, woman from the 1900s.
Anyways, back on topic. So Tina Resch was suddenly an international sensation, all because of a photo taken by a Columbus Dispatch photographer.
And it wasn't just phones. You know the dinosaur phones back in the days when my mom lived?
Jessie! Gosh, stop!
The Dispatch ran with the story, claiming Tina had telekinetic abilities. We're talking dishes, cutlery, books flying around, showers turning on by themselves, lights flickering, eggs leaping from the fridge and splattering on the ceiling. Can you even imagine walking to your kitchen to that kind of chaos? Oh my god.
That is truly pure nightmare fuel. And the weirdest part, these paranormal shenanigans apparently happened most often when Tina, who was only 14 at the time, was experiencing intense emotions.
As if being a teenager isn't emotionally charged enough, imagine your anger literally making plates explode off the counter.
Girl, I feel like that now most days. I do. Okay, so naturally, the entire world descended on the Resch home. Psychologists, paranormal researchers, you name it.
This episode is brought to you by
Sinister Brew Coffee isn't your ordinary cup of joe. It's a bold, horror-themed, small-batch coffee company owned by veterans who dare to take your taste buds on a dark and delicious journey.
From cosmic creations to cryptid-inspired blends, every roast comes with a sinister twist, handcrafted for those who crave something truly unique.
It's not just coffee. It's an experience steeped in mystery, macabre storytelling, and flavors that are to die for.
Dare to sip in the shadows and join the Sinister family at sinisterbrewcoffee.com.
Where every cup reminds you that the darkness is delicious.
This was peak Poltergeist and Exorcist era, so people were absolutely primed for this kind of story.
And Tina's foster parents, John and Joanne Resch, along with their 5 step-siblings, were desperate. They thought they had demons on their hands.
Diamonds, you say?
They even called 3 Mormon elders and a Lutheran minister to pray the evil out. And guess what?
What's that, girl?
The disturbances continued. Imagine the terror of having a spiritual leaders come in, perform rituals, and the chaos just keeps going. Like, what?
Girl, it's giving me chills just thinking about it. That's crazy. So, Mike Hardin, a columnist for the Dispatch, even went to the house with the photographer Fred Shannon when the family just ran out of hope and called the paper. That's how desperate they were.
But here's where the story takes a sinister turn, or at least a highly suspicious one. The circus atmosphere, as it was described, eventually died down when someone caught Tina, her hand outstretched, knocking over a lamp.
The ultimate gotcha moment.
She later confessed, claiming she only did it to get rid of reporters. But here's the thing. Once you're caught in a lie, especially about something as dramatic as poltergeist activity, how do you ever regain trust?
You don't, okay? Not after being caught red-handed. What? She was lying. She's a liar. There is no going back after that.
Exactly. You would think once she was caught, the media circus would stop, but it didn't. Instead, it led her down a path of abusive relationships, estrangement from her adopted parents, and, horrifyingly, the tragic death of her own daughter decades later. She even ended up facing life in prison for that murder, claiming she was railroaded into a plea deal.
This is a true crime movie right here.
It sure is.
We need to back up a bit and look at Tina's early life because it paints a really bleak picture. Born Christina in October 1969 to a mother struggling with addiction and abuse, she was taken into custody by Children's Services at just 10 months old.
10 months? Bouncing between foster families She finally landed with John and Joanne Resch at 2.5. A religious couple, strict discipline, house rules. Sounds like it should have been stable. She had neighborhood friends, went to school.
Sounds like a good life for a child. But that stability was shattered 10 years later. At age 12, Tina told her foster parents her stepbrother was abusing her.
That's horrible. That's so bad.
It is. It really, really is. And what's even worse is that they didn't believe her. Her mother slapped her for the accusation. Girl, my blood just runs really cold hearing that.
Okay, that is absolutely sickening. And what happened shortly after that horrific denial? Objects started moving, tables, lamps, plates. It's almost as if the trauma, the betrayal, manifested itself in this chaotic energy.
That media frenzy brought in Bill Roll, a famed paranormal researcher who moved into the house with the Reschs to study Tina.
I can't imagine a stranger, a paranormalist, living in her home, watching my every move.
Same here. I would never allow that to happen, Jesse. And Bill Roll said it was one of the most convincing cases of poltergeist activity he'd ever seen. Despite the magician James Randi calling it bunk, Mr. Bill Roll even invited a now 15-year-old Tina to live with him in North Carolina. Her foster parents encouraged her to go, alone, on her first plane trip, eager for science to validate or debunk her claims.
That's insane. I can't believe her parents would send her with a complete stranger. That's really bad parenting. Shame on them. Ugh.
I agree with you. 100% agree with you on that. This poor girl was being passed around, used as a subject, not a child. And Bill Roll, for all his insistence on spontaneous psychokinesis, never actually observed an object move by itself. So what was he doing scanning her brain for unusual electrical impulses? He seems like a predator, and for me, that's a no. That is a no.
This episode is brought to you by
Embrace the enchanting darkness with wicked Salem candles. Spooky, yet delightfully scented. Discover non-toxic, aromatic, long-lasting, clean burn, eco-friendly soy candles in bewitching scents and vibrant colors.
Wicked Salem Candles is a healthy alternative for people with allergies or respiratory issues, while also being environmentally friendly due to the renewable nature of soy wax.
With these candles, you're not just illuminating your space with a steady glow, you're protecting the environment. These candles are safer and environmentally friendly since they release fewer harmful chemicals into the air when burned.
Do you like getting candles with a longer burn time? Well, with Wicked Salem Candles, you'll get just that. These soy candles provide a consistent, unwavering flame, crafted for a lasting brilliance.
Wicked Salem candles are more than just candles. They offer a curated collection of spooky treasures. Discover bewitching room sprays, hauntingly beautiful art decor, and spellbinding accessories.
Whether you're preparing for Halloween, celebrating the fall season, or simply love a touch of the macabre, Wicked Salem Candles has something for you. Enjoy a touch of spookiness all year round.
Affordable, yet aromatic, long-lasting, environmental, friendly scents. If you're ready to illuminate your path the Wicked Salem way, visit wickedsalemscandle.com. Wicked Salem Candles, so good it's scary.
So 2 years after the dispatch broke her story, Tina ran away from the Resch home at 16. She met and married James Bennett, who, according to her own accounts, would beat and assault her. Her life just kept spiraling into darker and darker places. Her daughter, Amber, was born in 1988, and Tina will tell friends that Amber, and this is a quote from Tina, literally saved my life. You just want to believe that this was a turning point, the moment she found stability. But it's not. It sure wasn't. She divorced Bennett, married Larry Boyer, but he also became abusive. And then, in a desperate move, Tina left Ohio with Amber, ending up with Bill Roll and others in rural Georgia. She was being treated for depression and an eating disorder.
This is where it gets truly heartbreaking. Without skills, recovering from trauma, she struggled financially, just like her biological mother had.
The sheer vulnerability and desperation that took place in her life is gut-wrenching.
Despite all of that, Tina insisted she never beat Amber. But financial stress led her to work on a book with a rural associate, Jeannie Lagle-Dollar, transcribing notes. Amber stayed with Tina's new boyfriend, David Heron.
And unfortunately, that's where really bad things happen. On April 14, 1992, Tina leaves Amber with Heron. 6 hours later, he calls her. Amber won't wake up. Amber was rushed to the hospital. It's so sad, but she couldn't be revived. The Carlton, Georgia police investigation was, by many accounts, rushed and biased. Heron was well-liked in the community. Tina was new, had a troubled past, and, of course, those paranormal claims.
She was doomed from the start. According to Sue Horn, a longtime reporter was on the case. This is a quote from Sue. "This is the Bible Belt. She wasn't from here. She went to bars. She had a live-in boyfriend. She didn't go to church. And then she had some sort of witchy powers. You don't claim to have powers that only God has." End of quote. It's a terrifying indictment of how public perception and prejudice can derail justice. A plea, a prison, and a perpetual nightmare.
Tina was charged with murder, facing the death penalty. Her public defender, Jimmy Berry, who'd never lost a death penalty case, encouraged her to take an Alford plea. She didn't admit guilt, but acknowledged there was enough evidence to convict her. He told the court, and this is a quote, "We felt that a jury would hold her responsible, even though she may not have inflicted these injuries." End of quote. So, Tina signed, believing she'd be out in a few years and become a better person. Unfortunately, she was wrong. On October 21st, 1994, Tina wrote to friends, and this is a quote, "Signing away my life for the next 4 years." End of quote. And the plea hearing was unusual and closed to the public. She was taking antidepressants and tranquilizers. She told the court, "I'm guilty of not taking Amber to the hospital, but I'm not guilty of beating her to death, inflicting the wounds on her." End of quote.
Tina is inmate number 810071 at Pulaski State Prison, where she remains today. And here's the kicker. She passed a polygraph test, and an autopsy found Amber had dozens of bumps and bruises. But the fatal blow to the head? It had to have happened when Amber and Heron were alone. Jeannie Lagle-Dollar, who was with Tina that day, said her testimony would have cleared her.
Yeah, it would have, but it wasn't heard. Jeannie Lagle-Dollar, who's known Tina longer than anyone, believes an accidental fall, not an intentional blow, was to blame. She even called the police interrogation local corruption. The district attorney, she says, would do whatever it takes to get elected. It's a chilling accusation of a system designed to punish, not always to find truth.
Heron was tried separately, acquitted of murder, but sentenced to 20 years for child endangering. He's out, doing great, according to him. When asked about Amber's bumps and bruises, he said he had a little tricycle and crashed on it once or twice. End of quote. And when Heron was asked about the fatal head blow, he was quoted as saying, "I do not have a clue." End of quote.
What a cold, unsettling response. And I'm sorry, but I don't buy that not one bit, okay? The fact being that I'm not going to get into the autopsy report. I read it, I've seen it, it's out there on media. It's very sad what happened to this little girl. And the fact that this guy is out living his best life after she's been unalived at such a young age, that is very upsetting.
This episode is brought to you by
Creating comfort magically. Bare Naturals uses 100% natural soy wax, clean scent fragrances, and natural essential oils. Enjoy a safer way to have your home smelling wonderful. With Bare Natural candles, your home is free of harsh chemicals and toxins. With an eco-friendly and space-saving design, you'll enjoy a safe, sensory experience in the comfort of your own home every time.
Bare Natural candles are committed to only using the most natural, eco-friendly ingredients. Bare Natural candles are vegan and cruelty-free.
Experience luxury at an affordable price. These candles are a one-of-a-kind quality dedicated to peace of mind, relief, and protection.
Begin your journey today. Enjoy code WELCOME for 20% off of an order. Sign up for a free store account to view orders and gain access to your rewards for future savings.
Bare Naturals, where fragrance meets enchantment.
It's more than just a candle. It's magic.
Tina's been denied parole 11 times. Her attorney, Andrew Fleischman, asked the district attorney to offer a neutral opinion to the parole board, just to give her a chance. He declined. He's a politician, poor guy, Fleischman said, implying that showing sympathy for a child killer would ruin a career on a tough-on-crime state. If there's a dead child, they'd rather put you away than not, Fleischman said.
That is a truly terrifying statement about our justice system. And the parole board was made up of those who left public office by messing up. Former prison wardens were fired due to incompetence, or district attorneys voted out of office. No mercy, no defense.
Tina's surviving sister, Michelle Parker, who was told as a child that Tina had died, is now her strongest advocate. She finally found Tina through a Dutch photographer who wrote a book about her life in prison. And when they met, the resemblance to their biological mother was undeniable.
This is a quote from Tina's sister, Michelle. "I love you. I finally got you," Michelle told Tina during their first hug. And Tina's response? "I loved you before I even knew you."
Aww. It's a heartbreaking moment of connection after a lifetime of separation and trauma. It's really sweet.
And Michelle actually asked her sister straight up, "Did these things really happen or was it a hoax?" Tina's answer, "No, these things happened."
So, the flying phones and the moving objects, I guess Tina still maintains it was real, even though she was caught red-handed. Have we forgotten about that earlier in the story? She was literally caught red-handed and admitted to it. So I think this is insane that she's still maintaining that no, it was real. I'm sorry, but I don't buy it.
Whether it was real or a desperate cry for help, the initial spectacle of the Poltergeist girl opened a Pandora's box of tragedy for Tina Resch. Her life, from that viral photo to her current incarceration, is a stark, terrifying reminder of how a moment of fame can turn into a lifetime of suffering, and how easily a vulnerable person can be swallowed by circumstance in a justice system that prioritizes conviction over nuisance.
Absolutely, Jessie. It's a case that makes you wonder, who was a real monster here? The unexplained forces, the abusive relationships, or the system that seemingly railroaded a traumatized young woman?
There's a good documentary on this subject called Demons and Saviors, revisiting the Columbus Poltergeist case.
Okay, I've watched it, and it's on Hulu. It's really good.
I didn't watch it yet. I seen it as I was strolling through movies.
Girl, it is such a good documentary. I highly encourage you to watch it. That documentary is actually what inspired this episode. So I seen it, then Jack, our assistant, seen it, And we started talking about this episode that we wanted to do. And then we brought it to you to get the final okay since you're boss. And that's how this came to be today.
It brings paranormal true crimes together,
which is something we really don't do on our show. However, I thought it was something we should talk about since it had paranormal elements to it. And I remember it was atop of every headline when I was growing up. So this just brings back childhood memories for me. Not good ones, of course, because the story is very sad with, her daughter dying. But yeah.
Oh, you mean back in the 1900s?
Girl, don't start with me.
What happens if I do?
Anyways, I felt that the documentary is strangely and unnervingly silent about something so crucial. That's why I wanted to cover it.
Oh yeah? What's that?
The sudden, unexplained disappearance of Tina's powers. Nobody's talking about that. Think about it. All that chaos, all that supernatural terror, and then it's just stopped. Poof, gone. Right when the intense media spotlight dimmed. I don't think that's a coincidence.
This episode is brought to you by...
Tired of the same old coffee routine? Craving a cup of paradise? Introducing Kona Coffee House LV. Bring the magic of Kona coffee straight to you, wherever you are.
Kona Coffee House LV uses only the finest 100% organic Hawaiian Kona coffee beans, made by perfection by Sammy Scrumptious herself. These gluten-free and preservative-free beans are a rare specialty, offering a unique and unforgettable taste experience.
No need to wait in line. Kona Coffee House LV is mobile, delivering a taste of paradise. Book Kona Coffee today for corporate events, parties, venues, and so much more.
Follow Kona Coffee on Instagram at Kona Coffee House LV for updates on upcoming events. Visit their website at KonaCoPale.com to learn more and schedule your Kona Coffee experience today. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity to savor the world's finest coffee.
Well, what if it wasn't a supernatural force at all? What if, as some have suggested, it was all an elaborate performance? Because if that's the case, then the sudden silence makes terrifying sense. No more attention, no more cameras, no more reason for the show to go on.
Exactly. And think about when Tina Resch was in prison, accused of something far more concrete and devastating than a poltergeist activity. If Tina truly had these incredible powers, these terrifying abilities to move objects with her mind, to call forth unseen forces, what's she doing in a cell? Why isn't she levitating out the yard? Why aren't bullies mysteriously finding their spoons bent in half? Or guards discovering keys twisted beyond recognition from across the room?
She should have been like the character 11 from the show Stranger Things.
Girl, yes. That's exactly what it should have been like. We're talking about a woman who, according to some, could unleash a torrent of telekinetic power. And yet, in the ultimate pressure cooker of a state prison, where stress would be at an all-time high, a supposed trigger for her abilities, she's quiet, mute. Her powers, if they ever existed, have seemingly abandoned her at the moment she needed them the most.
It's a chilling thought. If she truly possessed these powers, why aren't they manifesting now, when her freedom is at stake? Are we to believe the poltergeist simply decided prison wasn't a good vibe? Or is there a more sinister, more human explanation?
Well, here's a fact. William Roll, the parapsychologist, we discussed him earlier. He firmly believed in Tina's abilities. He remained convinced until his death that her power was real, still lurking within her mind. He spent decades on this case.
So, if he and others believe so strongly in their extraordinary abilities, why isn't anyone trying to figure out why they vanished? Why isn't Tina herself reaching out to these experts, begging them to investigate the inexplicable loss of her power? If you had a gift like that, a terrifying force at your command, wouldn't you want to know where it went, especially when you're locked away?
That's a great point. It's a paradox that chills me to the bone. Tina did confess to faking it, and it still didn't diminish her credibility. That's insane.
She's trapped. She's either trapped by a lie, or perhaps trapped by truth that's too monstrous to admit.
Tina was branded as a psychic child murderer because of sensationalized headlines that basically turned her into a witch. Imagine the terror of being branded that way. Not just a killer, but something otherworldly.
This episode is brought to you by...
Looking for a reputable notary republic at an affordable price? Well, look no further. Mrs. Ashley Lutchman is now taking appointments and accepting new clients. Jesse and I needed some documents to sign for our podcast.
We wanted someone with experience who was well-known and didn't cost a fortune.
That's right. One of our good friends had worked with Mrs. Lutchman regarding some legal paperwork they needed notarized and recommended her to us.
She was professional, efficient, and affordable.
If you need important documents notarized, email Ashley Lutchman at ashleylutchman@gmail.com. Ashley Lutchman can be found on Instagram and TikTok. I will link her socials and her email in our show notes.
Ashley Lutchman is remote and commissioned in the state of Florida.
This story, at its core, has no heroes, just a series of unsettling allegations and deceptions. The alleged abuse, the tragic death of a child, the claims of supernatural powers, and the people who may have exploited them.
The Columbus Poltergeist isn't scary because of a ghost. It's scary because of the shadows it casts on human nature, the desperate need for attention, the willingness to deceive, and the devastating consequences that follow. The true horror isn't a poltergeist throwing furniture. It's the chilling possibility of what people will do or say they can do, and the lies they become trapped within.
What do you think, listeners? What do you think happened to Tina's powers? And what does it say about the human mind when faced with extraordinary claims? Was Tina Resch truly a victim of poltergeists, or a victim of a system that failed her at every turn? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
And remember, sometimes the scariest stories aren't about ghosts at all.
That's all for this episode of Milkshakes and Ghosts. We appreciate you spending this unnerving hour with us. We hope you found it as delightfully disturbing as we did. We'll be back next week to conjure up more haunts and happenings wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. You restless spirits, don't fade away just yet. Stick around for our ghoulishly good bloopers, haunting your ears right after these important announcements.
Our bloopers are a post-possession laugh track. After we stirred up all things creepy, we unearthed our funniest mistakes and most spectral slip-ups from the recording. It's the perfect way to exercise those lingering shivers.
Got a chilling tale begging to be told on the podcast? Or perhaps a ghostly shout-out for a fellow mortal? Conjure up an email to milkshakesghost@gmail.com. You can also find us lurking everywhere else online: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
For exclusive spectral content and to support our macabre mischief, become a Patreon member at patreon.com/milkshakes and ghosts. All our digital haunts are linked there for you in the show notes.
That's right! Patreon members unlock otherworldly perks and even free relics. Check it out if you dare.
Let's give a shout out to our awesome, amazing Patreon member.
Hey, alright.
Patreon.
Hey, alright. Wanna join the trend? Hey, alright.
Brothers and sisters, join me. It's time for Patreon.
Mr. E from Special Delivery Show. Check out the Special Delivery Show. His podcast takes interviews to a whole new level. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Sinister Brew Coffee, where every sip reminds you that the dark side is delicious. Wicked Salem's Candle. So good, it's scary. Bare Naturals Candles and more. It's more than just a candle, it's magic. Kona Coffee House LV. Hawaiian coffee delivering a taste of paradise. Ashley Lechman, a reputable notary republic at an affordable price. All of our sponsors are listed in our show notes, along with links to contact them.
M&G VIP members also include George, Myra, Spectral Sweethearts, The Ecto Crew, Phantom Fanatics, Haunted Homies, Shadow Society, Jody, David M., Alexander, Jackie Lewis, Carly and Donna, Loon of the Darkness, Hidden Shadows, Eric Gonzalez, Jenna 424, Richard Waltz, Dracula's Occult, Zethrock 1875, Clara Jones, Mothman Frosty 424, Vampires Rock 222, The Blonde Happenings with Kelly and Brenda, Bigfoot's Real 76, Bloodsucker 95, Nightmares 888, Witchy Talk 55, Dracula Rocks 22, Tina and Ruben, The Dark Side, Ronald H., Joe Santana, Myra Morales from That's So Spooky, Tony S., Dean from The Truth Is Out There, Nadia and Edward, Joel from The Paranormal Countdown, Alan, Death Star 1, Maxine Stare Screams, Jules M., Victor and Myra, Haunted Canadian History, Shadow Seekers, Crimson Haunts from Christy and Craig, Liam, Noah, and Juniper.
Our Patreon family is growing. We love it so much when we get new people. Patreon is a wonderful community of ghost enthusiasts. We appreciate each and every single one of you.
And remember, keep drinking milkshakes.
And keep being spooky! It's time for bloopers! Photo taken by Columbus Dispatch photographer. Did I sound like I had an accent? Photographer. I should do that again, right? Look, I'm from Jersey, okay? I'm from Jersey.
Jersey.
I'm from Jersey. What?
Just stop.
Jersey.
Stop.
Jersey. Jelly beans. Jelly beans.
No.
Jelly belly. Oh.
Jelly belly. 'Cause I'm a jelly bean.
Beans.
No beans for you.
Jelly beans. Why are we like this?
I ate all the jelly beans, so I'm a jelly bean now.
Why are we like this?
No more jelly beans.
Why are we like this?
Shh.
I feel like a dog that gets peanut butter in their mouth.
Oh, you got cinnamon. I can smell it.
Cinnamon and bubblegum together actually are like slap.
No, it doesn't.
Slap it.
I've had it before. I hate bubblegum.
It tastes like
cinnamon.
it tastes like big red gum. Our wheels on the bus going round and round, round and round, round and round.
Why? We see the stars. That's the ceiling. And it's daytime.
It's spooky season, spooky season, spooky season, spooky season, it's spooky season, 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 spooky season. It's spooky season, 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 spooky season.